The power of silence. Why real confidence doesn't need words. The weight of words. Hey, welcome back. Before we begin, if you're someone who wants to understand people and master the quiet power that makes others listen, subscribe now. Because what you're about to hear might change the way you speak forever. You've seen it before. Someone walks into a room and barely says a word. Yet everyone pays attention. They speak once, and the whole place listens. Meanwhile, you talk more, you try harder, and still, people's eyes drift away. They nod politely, but their minds are somewhere else. You say more, but they hear less. And you wonder why. Why do your words vanish while theirs echo long after they've stopped speaking? It's not volume. It's not humor. It's not charm. It's weight. Words only carry weight when they come from presence, when the person behind them isn't performing, pretending, or reaching for approval. They don't need to fill silence. They don't fear it, because real confidence doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to be real. Most people think attraction is about addition. Be smarter. Talk faster. Say something clever. But the truth, the ancient Stoics already knew, is the opposite. Attraction isn't addition. It's subtraction. You don't become magnetic by adding layers of performance. You become magnetic by stripping them away, by removing the noise that hides your authenticity. When you stop needing attention, attention starts finding you. When you stop performing, people start listening. Today, I'll show you 6 communication principles that carry real weight. 6 truths that don't make you louder, they make you more present. If you've ever felt unheard, invisible, or tired of talking without being understood, this is for you. Let's begin. Why your words don't land. You talk because silence feels dangerous. Because if no one replies, you fear you'll disappear. You fill every pause, hoping words will prove your worth. But the more you speak, the less they listen. The truth is simple. You don't talk too much because you're confident. You talk too much because you're afraid. Afraid of not being seen. Afraid of being misunderstood. Afraid of being forgotten. Most people don't realize this, that the reason their words have no gravity is because they speak from insecurity. Not presence. They don't trust silence. They don't trust stillness. They confuse noise with meaning. You've been taught that to connect, you must impress. To be respected, you must explain. To be loved, you must perform. But every time you perform, you move further away from the truth of who you are. People don't connect with performances. They connect with presence. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." The same law applies to communication. Stop performing interest. Be interested. Stop acting confident. Be calm. Stop proving your worth. Know it. This is the first awakening, that you've been chasing the illusion of being heard by speaking more, when the real secret is to say less, but mean every word. You don't need more words. You need more weight behind the ones you already have. And weight doesn't come from what you say. It comes from why you say it. Now, let's go deeper, into the 6 principles that transform ordinary speech into presence. Each one is a weapon, but only if you use it with intention. The 6 principles of communication with weight. Let's begin. 6 principles. 6 truths that change not just how you speak, but who you are when you speak. 1. Tell me more about that. 4 simple words, but they can transform the entire rhythm of a conversation. Most people listen just to reply. You will listen to understand. When someone shares something, resist the urge to interrupt with your story, your advice, your experience. Instead, lean in, look at them and say, "Tell me more about that." Then stay silent. That silence is power. That space you create gives others permission to open up. Because people don't remember your clever words, they remember how you made them feel. Make them feel heard, and they'll never forget you. 2. I don't know. 3 words most people can't say, but they separate the wise from the insecure. When you admit what you don't know, you prove you're grounded in truth, not ego. Pretending to know everything is a shield for fear. Saying, "I don't know," calmly shows confidence. It tells the world you don't need to perform intelligence, you seek truth. The Stoics understood, wisdom begins with humility, and humility begins with those 3 words. 3. That sounds difficult. Most people, when they hear someone's pain, rush to fix it. But the moment you try to solve it, you steal the person's chance to be understood. Instead, acknowledge it. Say, That sounds difficult. You're not fixing, you're not minimizing, you're recognizing. And in that recognition, something softens, trust begins. People don't want your solutions. They want your presence. 4. Silence. The most powerful words you'll ever use are the ones you don't say. Silence makes your words matter. When you pause, people lean in. When you speak less, your words carry more. Silence unsettles the insecure but empowers the grounded. Because silence isn't empty, it's full. It's full of your awareness, your calm, your control. Seneca said, "Silence is a lesson learned through many sufferings." So master it, because when you can sit in silence without fear, you've already mastered yourself. 5. I appreciate you. Not, thanks, not, good job, those acknowledge actions. But, I appreciate you, acknowledges the person, who they are. Not what they did. It's rare, that's why it hits deep. In a world that measures everyone by productivity, your recognition of someone's humanity is unforgettable. Use these words sparingly, sincerely. When you mean them, they turn strangers into allies and allies into loyal souls. 6. No. The hardest word, yet the most important. When you say yes to everything, you say no to yourself. Every yes you give out of guilt drains your strength, your focus, your time. But when you say no clearly, calmly, without apology, people begin to respect your boundaries, and your yes becomes valuable again. The power to say no is the power to own your life. 6 principles: curiosity, honesty, validation, silence, recognition, boundaries. Together, they form the language of character. Because communication is not about speaking perfectly, it's about being real. The power of presence. You don't need to talk more to be heard. You need to mean what you say. The world is drowning in noise, endless words, opinions, arguments, explanations. Everyone wants to be noticed, but few know how to be remembered. What separates the few from the many isn't intelligence, charm, or beauty, it's presence. Presence is quiet strength. It's the stillness that draws people closer without effort. When you speak from presence, you don't have to convince anyone. Your truth carries its own gravity. Every time you choose silence over noise, honesty over performance, boundaries over pleasing, you build that gravity. Your words begin to carry your character. Your silence begins to speak louder than speeches. People feel it before they understand it. They trust you, even when you say little, because your energy says enough. The Stoics called it euthymia, a calm confidence that comes from knowing who you are. That's what this is really about. Not tricks, not charisma, not performance. It's character, revealed through speech. So from this moment forward, speak less, but speak truth. Listen not to reply, but to understand. Say, "I don't know," when you don't. Say, "No," when you must. Be slow to speak, but when you do, make sure your words come from peace, not fear. Because when your words are rare, they matter. And when your silence is strong, you no longer need words to be heard. If you're ready to stop performing and start communicating with presence, comment below. I choose truth. And if this message resonated with you, share it, because someone you know needs to remember that power doesn't shout. It listens, it breathes, it waits. And when it finally speaks, the world goes silent,